There's a very interesting historical figure in Morocco. He died at the very end of the 16th century. He was a master of hadith studies, of the traditions of the Prophet. He was called Ridhwan al Jinnawi, Ridhwan the Genoese. The story of how Sidi Ridhwan al Jinnawi, who was revered as a saint after his lifetime, came about is this. His father was a Genoese merchant. This, by the way, is in the book of Sidi Ridhwan's Manaqibs, or sort of exploits of his life. His father was a Genoese merchant. And according to the story that's in this manuscript, one day he got a snootful, was a sort of roaring drunk in the city of Genoa. All right, staggering back home, his horse got away from him and ran into a cathedral. When it got into the cathedral, it deposited its droppings on the floor of the cathedral. Well, not wanting to get caught, he got into the cathedral, hauled out his horse, took it home as quickly as he could, and locked it away. All right, needless to say, he goes to bed with a hangover. Late the next day, he wakes up to this clamor outside of his window, sort of wakes up with a headache, looks outside of his window, and here's a procession of priests carrying the horse droppings on silver trays, saying that Jesus' donkey had come to the church, and this was a blessing from God, and that they were selling these droppings to the populace. Now, if you know anything about the activities of the Catholic Church in the 16th century, even though it sounds crazy, this could really possibly be true. I mean, this is sort of selling relics. And so Ridhwan's father said, well, he said, and this is all going exactly from the manuscript here. He said to himself, well, two possibilities are here. Possibility number one, they might find me out and I'll be in real trouble. Possibility number two, if this is Christianity, what have I got to lose? So what he does is he takes a ship and he goes over to Morocco. And when he goes over to Morocco, he sneaks over to the Moroccan side and he becomes a merchant working for the Sharifian state of Morocco, merchant and a sea captain, and becomes quite successful. When he gets to Morocco, he meets a beautiful Jewish woman who is fleeing the persecution of the Jews by the Spanish in either Spain or Sicily, it's hard to tell where, and has fled to Morocco for her life. The two of them convert to Islam, get married, and they ask God to give them a son who's a sort of a pious man. Ridhwan al Jinnawi is the son of this Genoese merchant and this Jewish refugee.